WDRS Talk is made possible by the Anchor app. If you've never heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's absolutely free and allows you to make your own podcast on your phone or on your computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast on platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can make money from your podcast as well without a minimum membership. It's all you need to make a podcast in one place. So, go and download your Anchor app for free, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started today.
You're listening to the Wolf's Den Radio Show. Talk.
Hello, sisters and brothers. Welcome to another episode of WDRS Talk, the Wolf's Den Radio Show Talk. This is your host, your brother from another mother, spreading good vibes everywhere I can. And my name is Wolfgang. As if you didn't know that already, but if you don't, that is my name. And thank you very much for joining me. It is my birthday today, actually. As I record this, it's going to be my birthday tomorrow, but when you hear this, it's going to be my birthday wherever you are. Thank you for everybody who's been greeting me so far in advance, and to those of you who are going to greet me, who are graciously going to greet me a happy birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love you guys for supporting the show, and it's going to be a good one again. Although the past week was not very cool for myself. Maybe for another chunk of people, but not for me. My choice for president did not win the election, which is fine, because she is such a gracious person that she's very gracious in defeat. And I am not ashamed for supporting her ideals, because those are the ideals that I support. And those are the ideals that I live by. And I just wanted to tell everybody there who is sad and disappointed at the result, do not despair. It is not the end, just as long as we keep on fighting for what is good, for what is true, for what is honest. And we'll be okay. You know, just as long as you keep fighting for the good things in life, and defending the good things in life, then you will always be on the right side of history. So don't despair. And the vice president has actually launched a foundation, a non-government organization. So this has nothing to do with politics. So if you're on the other side, this is not about you. This is not about your guy. This is about helping your fellow Filipinos. It's called the Angat Buhay Foundation, and I heard her speech maybe I think last 3 days ago, her concession speech, and her I don't know if it was a concession speech, but it was an uplifting speech that comforted her supporters in that rally in Ateneo. And that's just her vibe, man. That's why we love her so much, because gracious in defeat, still a loving person, not bitter, not vengeful. And we move forward with this Angat Buhay Foundation. And her goal is to make it the biggest volunteer network in the Philippines. And that should be our goal as well. And I think that it should become the biggest volunteer network in the world, and she should hook up with everybody around the world who has the same ideals, the same agenda for working class people, to defend human rights, to take care of the environment, to help the poor, to educate everybody so that they know what the fuck is going on, and they're not easily fooled by transients and what's the word I'm looking for? Charlatans and liars and thieves. You have to educate people, and that is the only solution here. Anyway, it's called the Angat Buhay Foundation, and it is a volunteer. So all you got to do when that foundation is formally launched is that you gotta give your time, whatever time you can give, wherever you are in the world. If you're a Filipino and you believe in truth, honesty, and helping the poor and helping the less fortunate and taking care of the environment, please make time and volunteer. Don't despair. Volunteer. And this is gonna be really great. And this is not only for the supporters of the vice president, but for every Filipino. If deep down in your soul you know that you're a good person and that you want to help others, this is not about politics because it's a non-government organization. This is about helping people. This is about uplifting people who need to be uplifted. Give your time, give your energy in whatever field you are good at. I'm sure they're gonna find somewhere to put you or someone to help, to hook you up with a community to help. If you're a musician, if you're a guitarist, give out free guitar lessons. If you're a songwriter, give a workshop for songwriting lessons. If you're an engineer, give free workshops to young kids who have the potential to become engineers. Anything that you're good at, give your time, volunteer. Let's make this a fucking social phenomenon that the Philippines has never seen before. And we do it out of love. We don't do it because we don't like the other guy and we want to do it to spite the other side or whatever. We're doing this because we love our fellow Filipinos, and that's our motivation. It's not to be vengeful, it's not to have revenge, it's not to say like, oh, we're better than you. It's like, no, this is about helping each other. So please, if you want to be updated, all you got to do is follow the Facebook page and Instagram page of the Vice President. It's very easy, and I'm sure if you're a supporter already, you know where to go. And just wait for that formal announcement of Angat Buhay Foundation, and let's get to work, people. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's help each other out. Let's uplift the Filipinos that need our help. And thank you very much for taking your time to listen to that. The reality is, it is what it is. Whoever's up there really doesn't matter anymore, because our goal is to help each other out, is to volunteer our time. The government has nothing to do with this. Politics has nothing to do with this. So if you want to keep on making fun of the people, of the candidate who lost, and making fun of their supporters, go right ahead. No one's stopping you. But I just have to say that you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your saliva, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your soul. So you might as well use your energy to help your fellow Filipinos who need that help. And if you don't want to, hey man, that's your choice. You don't have to. But don't feel left out, and don't think that this is some sort of political stunt. No, man. This is volunteer work. This is giving your time without anything in return. You give because you love. And if you don't have any love in your heart, you gotta dig deep, man, because you're really wasting your time making fun of people who are doing this, because we don't really care what you think, because we're gonna do this regardless. So anyway, Angat Buhay Foundation, wait for it. Let's put all our energies into this thing, because we know that the government of the Philippines doesn't do squat. They don't do shit. So it's people power time, people. People power. It's the power of the people to help each other out. All right. Anyway, episode 38 is coming up. Well, it's here now. 38, and I am speaking with the great Jett Pangan, the lead singer of the Dawn. Who himself, he has his own podcast as well, and I'm really, really appreciative that he took some time out to talk with me, and it was a great conversation. And do check it out. Before we start the episode or the interview, please do subscribe to all the channels that you're listening to this on. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the episode. All of those things help the algorithms on the internet, as you know. And if you're on Spotify, please give the page a follow, and also on Apple Music. And if you're listening on Anchor, please do that as well. And if you would like to make a donation to the show, that is possible as well on the Anchor app. All you got to do is on the internet, you got to go to anchor.fm, or you can download the app, the Anchor app, of course, and just go to the WGRS Talk profile page, and you can make a donation there. You can make a one-time donation, or you can be a monthly donor. A couple of people are monthly donors, and I truly appreciate it. I love you guys for doing that. And any amount is welcome. It can be $1, it can be $10, it can be $50, it can be $1,000. It doesn't matter. The mere fact that you went out of your way to make a donation to the show is truly appreciated. All right, so with the business aside, here we go. Episode 38. Enjoy. This is your host, Wolfgang, and the singer of the Dawn, Jett Pangan. Enjoy. All right, WGRS Talk with the Dawn's Jett Pangan. And he's got some nice smoke coming out there. How you doing, Jett? Good to see you.
Hi,
man.
Wolf. Yeah, man. It's been what? Decades. Di naman. But yeah, it feels that long.
Maybe a decade, yeah, because the last time I saw you was when we jammed in Capone's. You remember that?
That was 2004, if I remember correctly.
No. A little later. That was
A little later ba?
Yeah, 2007. Yeah.
And it's amazing you remember that show because we were floored by you, man. Because I remember we were playing and then you were in front of the audience, and you came up to us and said, you want to jam. So we were like, okay, what do you want? And you said, "Love Will Set Us Free."
Yeah.
To your listeners who don't know the song, it's not a song you normally jam without rehearsals. But Wolf did it, man. We were like, at first we were kind of nervous because I was telling my bandmates, all right, lock eyes with Wolf, all right? Make sure, he's locked in with you guys. And then seconds after the song, we just let you fly, man, because you knew the song without rehearsal. So yeah, cheers to you.
Yeah, I knew most of the song except for maybe the last part. It's always I always ask the band who I'm jamming with, if ever, it's like, how do we end the song? And then I ask Francis that. He's like, tingin na lang, man. It's like, okay, bahala na.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite songs of the Dawn, and I always wanted to play it because of that those hits, the pam 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 ka pam pam pam.
Yeah.
I always wanted
That part. We were like, hey, Wolf is on it, man. It's like, it's the first time you ever played it with us. Ever.
It's the first time I ever played it ever, with anybody.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah. So I asked. I think I asked Francis. I was like, "You guys don't change it, right? You just play it like on the record, right?" She go, "Yeah, okay." Then I can hack it. So
It's one of those songs that we cannot change. Other songs we can jam, but that song is pretty, rigid. So, Yeah, we were amazed that we got through it and people had fun watching you. You know.
Yeah, it was great. There's actual footage. I don't know if you've seen it. Um,
Oh, maybe you can share it with me, man.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that'd be
Later,
great.
later. I'll
Yeah.
send you the link. Yeah, there's actual footage of it. It was the angles like from the second floor, I think, of that venue.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was great, man. It was such a yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor to play with the Dawn
Oh,
that
likewise,
night.
man. Honor was
Thanks, man.
ours that night. That was
Thank
really a
you.
fun night.
It was really. So anyway, thanks for guesting, man. I
Oh, thanks
already
for having me.
yeah, sure. I already have had Francis on the show, and then now you, and then next up I wanna talk to JB as well, and get all your different perspectives about this band. You know, this band that has been around for since I was in friggin' high school. You know, it's it's amazing that you guys are still there, and yeah, I want to because this podcast of mine, the guests that I get, they're not
Hmm.
just anybody who has a name or who's popular or whatever, just to get just to get clicks. And I actually interview people who I like and want to talk with, and how their band was formed and whatnot. And the way that I started off is I usually tell the guest of my personal experience with them. So with you, aside from what we jammed, I mean our jam, I also have an experience of seeing the Dawn for the first time back in high school, and
Oh.
yeah, it was Ultra Storm 2,
Oh, you were
and
there.
I was there. I was there
Nice, nice.
because I was friends. Well, I'm still friends, with Twinkie Lagdameo, no,
Right, right.
and she was very close to the band at the time. And that night, she everybody, um, uh, all our friends, she just showed up one on that night. It's like I can get everybody in to Ultra Storm tonight, so let's go. So everyone's like, oh, let's go, yeah, free show, free concert.
So I didn't know
So
that Twinkie Lagdameo was the scalper that night. Okay.
no, she didn't resell any tickets. She just got us in
Ah, okay,
somehow.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she probably got like a lot of complimentaries, and
That's
she got
cool,
us
man.
in. And that was the first time I saw you guys. That was the first time I saw Francis with After Image.
Right?
They opened for you.
Oh, that night.
And
Yeah, okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Ultra Storm 2. And I remember, I'm not, because I saw two Ultra Storms with you guys, with Teddy, and I'm not sure if it was the second one. Oh no, it was the second one, because the reason why Twinkie was so excited to bring us along was because she said that, oh, the Dons, they're gonna have lasers in their show.
Okay.
The green laser thing.
Yeah.
You
I don't
remember that?
even remember that, Wolf.
Yeah,
Thanks for reminding me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that was her selling point. It's like, you guys gotta go because the Dawn. We already were fans of the Dawn, no? And then she goes,
Right.
they're gonna have lasers at the show, so let's go. So let's go. So we get there, and then I see Francis with After Image. He had the big hair, the big teased hair, and then I saw you
Do you have a
guys.
picture of that? Please send it to him.
I don't. It's in my mind. The picture is in my mind. I can still picture him like really thin and with this
Yeah.
big white Stratocaster. I don't know if it was an actual Strat, but it was the body of a Strat, and his
No,
big
it's
teeth
it's
up.
only looks big because, it's Francis.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah. And he had his big hair, his teased hair. It's like,
Right, right.
and then you guys. I think when you guys came on, we had the chance to go on the floor, because I think we had all access passes or something. So
Cool.
so we went to the floor, and then we were like, And then you guys started, and then this one beam was right above JB, and it was one laser. You know those laser machines that the intelligent lights
Yeah. Yeah.
of the first ones that first came out, and
Mm.
I think I'm not sure who the sound system was. I am guessing it's going to be Godinez of
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Back
it was
then, it
them.
was only there were only two suppliers back then. We mainly used Vitan,
Oh right,
and
Vitan.
yeah, and then at times I think Jaime Godinez would bring in his concert tech gear.
Right.
But back then they'd be mixing each other, mixing up. So like Jaime would do the sound, but the gamut I think would be from another supplier.
Oh right, right. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
do remember we did this live concert this time with Atsushi Matsuura on guitar in Ultra, and it was recorded live. And back then, recording
Oh
live
right,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
big
The Dawn
deal.
Live,
Yeah,
right? The live
yeah,
album.
because
Yeah, yeah.
everything's done on tape, right?
Right.
So the guy who was recording us on that show was Albert Godinez, the drummer of
Oh, okay.
Overdrive, who's the brother of Jaime. So I'm assuming that night, I'm not sure. I have to look at the credits again of the album. That was already like concert tech gear. But
Right.
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much we just oscillated between concert tech, Vitan, and a
yeah.
few other suppliers out of town. Yeah.
But anyway, so that night, I don't know who the supplier was, but I guess they were the first ones to have that intelligent light in the Philippines, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is, it was only one. They didn't have a pair. So your lasers was a laser, singular, and it was right
Right.
above the drums, and it was just going off. I mean, it was brand new
And
technology
that's
at the
why
time.
probably Jun Boy has a bald spot on his head. I don't know. That's probably it, man.
He got lasered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little
So it
too
was it
much.
what it was. It was the green laser, like what the pen lasers are now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah. So that was it. And then so we were kind of disappointed. We're like, oh, Twinkie said lasers. There's only one. So medyo
Yeah,
bitin
we
kami.
came we came to the show for the laser, not the band, and then we get this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were, but of course, you're like, whoa, wow, look at that. It's a laser machine.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
what
yeah.
1987 or 88, and
Oh,
but then we were like, well, Twinkie said there were going to be a lot. There's only one here, so we gave her, we were kind of giving her hell after the show. Oh, Twinks naman, isang laser lang yun pa, but, you're just teasing her. But that was the show that I first saw you guys, and that's the first time I saw Teddy Diaz, and I still remember it in my mind's eye. He had the black Les Paul.
right.
It was really low. I'm like, wow, that guitar is really low. How can you play a guitar that low? Because usually, the guitars that I would see on music videos, they would be on normal height. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, and I didn't
Excuse me.
know at the time. I didn't know Led Zeppelin or Jimmy Page, but he was doing his Jimmy Page
Oh,
impression.
maybe that's why the guitar was slung low. He
Yeah, yeah,
normally
yeah.
Teddy plays high. He plays chest height because
Oh,
he's
really?
a College of Music major. So
Okay.
his guitar stance is really proper. But when he does that Jimmy Page thing with the bow,
Mm-hmm.
I think he brings the guitar lower.
Yeah,
So it's easier for him to like saw the thing in half. Yeah.
yeah. And then then he was headbanging. He had really long hair at the time, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, whoa, who's this guy? Because I only knew you guys with the vinyl, your first album, and
Mhm.
then your picture was in the back, no? Yeah, your group, the band shot was in the back of the record. So I never seen you guys in action. I saw Teddy with his makeup. He looked like a kabuki,
Ah,
um,
yeah. Yeah.
like a kabuki play. His makeup. and his
Yeah.
hair was teased. But then
Right.
when I saw you guys live, his hair wasn't teased; it was down. It was it was normal, and he
Mm-hmm.
just starts headbanging, and the crowd goes wild. I'm like, wow, this is cool, man. And it was actually, aside from the first time I ever saw a concert, I mean concert in like folk arts theater. I saw the village people when I was like 9 years old when they came to
Okay.
Manila, and that was the last concert I saw until you guys, like in
Really?
a like in a like in an arena setting,
What a jump from the village people to the dawn.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice, very nice, yeah, cool, man. So that was my first experience with the Dawn, and another experience I had with the Dawn um, was when I already formed my first band, Hysteria. I don't know if you guys ever even noticed us, but you guys had a gig, a gig in Assumption High School in their
Mm-hmm.
fair. It was inside the auditorium,
Right.
and my band at the time, Hysteria, we opened for you guys. And I even remember that JB, because JB always brings his kit, right, wherever he goes.
Yep.
He
Yeah. From
brings
day one.
the
Yeah.
from day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So I saw, I didn't know how things worked. I was such an amateur back then.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, you're gonna play on the equipment of the Dawn, okay, or whatever. So when we get up on the stage and I see, it's like, oh shit, that's JB's set. That's the set, the wood, the
That's a
brown,
Yamaha.
the Yamaha brown.
That was the 80s. That Yamaha was still, made in Japan.
Oh
As
wow,
in, yeah, it's an imported kit. I think,
yeah,
yeah. So you played at the time. It was a big deal back then if you played, original Japanese-made drums
oh yeah, I bet, yeah,
with the Yamaha brand. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, so that is, I mean, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to play on this drum set, this iconic drum set. At the time, it was very iconic because
Right.
every time you guys played, he would play the same drum set. So, it was part of your act. And yeah, I don't even think you even remember what we were there back then, but it was great. So those are two, well, three, including the one in Capone's. Those are three very significant memories that I have of the Dawn, and
Yeah,
they
great
were
memories,
all,
man. Yeah.
yeah, they were all great. They were all really great. And
Awesome, awesome.
then when I finally met you guys in person with Wolfgang already, I
Yeah.
was just like, like all of you are just good guys. You're all cool. And you're like, oh my God, all these guys are cool. They're so friendly. They're nice. They're not mayabang. They're not maere. They're nothing. They're just cool people. So yeah, that was the cool part of it all. And then another memory I have of you personally is when it was the Rock Awards 1995, the first time that we ever played, Wolfgang, and you introduced us. I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember that. You were the
Yeah.
you were you the host, or were
I
you the
I was
roving?
the I was
You
a
were like the
host.
roving. You were like the
Pretty
roving.
much. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
was I was their man on the ground.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I remember it's like I don't even know if you even knew who we were, because we were so
Of
brand
course I
new.
knew who you were, man.
Oh, okay,
You
okay,
guys were already making waves back then. In fact,
okay.
first time I saw you guys was in Weekends Live. You remember that place
Of
at
course. Oh
Atrium?
my God. Yeah, of
I
course.
think that was the first time I ever saw the first incarnation of Wolfgang. Because we also played there, and there was one night we just went there. Wala lang. We just went there for leisure, for drinks.
Right.
I don't think we had a set that night. And then I saw this mestizo guy with long hair, take the stage, and then another mestizo guy, which was Manuel, right? So it
Manuel.
was
Yeah.
Basti and Manuel. And I remember that night even Perf was there on stage with you.
Yeah. Right.
And you played some Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, a lot of heavy stuff you don't hear from that side of town,
Yeah.
Makati, right? You'd
Yeah,
hear a lot
right.
of that in Olongapo or in Malate.
Right.
But to hear the classics in places like a bar in Makati was really a trip for me. I'm like, who are these guys? And already I knew something big was brewing. I knew these guys were gonna be big, and lo and behold, man, history. The rest is history for you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we got lucky, man. I mean, that gig of ours in weekends, that was every Friday for 3 years, man.
Wow, you own the
Yeah,
place,
so
huh?
yeah, oh yeah,
Nice.
I mean, the owners of the place were I mean, because we were bringing in business for them, so they were smart enough to keep us on for that long,
Right.
and eventually we just got, you know, when the scenes, when everyone was starting to get signed, after the E-heads got signed, and we just got
Yeah.
swept up in that wave.
That was the boom, the '90s. That was a boom when
Yeah.
everybody was getting signed up, and Weekends Live. I loved going to that place because it was like Club Dread. You knew everybody. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody knew everybody,
right.
and so it was a comfortable place to be in where you can just be yourself. Either you jam, you play, or just hang. You know,
Yeah.
and there's so much electricity in the room, especially when you guys played. I was like, holy shit, man, who are these guys? You know, and the vibe was really just so positive
Yeah,
that
it
night.
was
It
it,
was a
it was
smoky bar. It was that time, diba? People could still smoke in the
oh
bars.
yeah, oh yeah.
So it
Yep.
was filled with smoke and noise of people chatting. And then you guys
Yeah.
come on, and Perf was there with you. And I'm like, who are these guys, man?
Yeah.
These guys are the next. I know it.
That's true, man. So what was the in that era, right before, I mean, during that time when the E-heads were first signed, and then that first album of theirs came out. What were you guys doing? Because you guys did a I don't I did you guys disappear for a while, and
Yeah, we
because
did. We did.
oh, okay, okay, because I
We
remember that
did.
you guys came back because you
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Around 94, we disbanded. To cut it short, to put it,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
to put it in a nutshell, we called it a day because I think we just got burned out, and at the time, a lot of you guys were already up there, you guys were already making your own mark in music, and right about that time, as far as we're concerned, it was about the time for us to take a break because we were at it for like 8 years nonstop.
How many
Wolf,
albums had you had before that breakup?
eight albums, so we were releasing practically one album a year.
Holy shit! You had 8 albums by
Eight albums,
'94.
but back then an album would only consist of 8 songs. Not a
Okay.
lot. But yeah, so in between recordings and tours and gigs, it pretty much got to us. And we felt like, okay, well, I personally felt like it's time to move on. So shortly after we disbanded, I got married, started a family.
Okay. Right.
But, and the time that we were away, that was a time when you guys, name it, Wolfgang, River Maya, Eraserheads, Intro Voice, After Image, that was your shining, those were the glory years of bands, really.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then 99, we tried it out again. We did a reunion concert at the Ultra. And I think your bandmate, Basti, was one of our guest singers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sang one of our songs, Susi, from the first album.
Uh huh.
And it just rocked. And also Francis Magalona, may he rest in peace, he jammed also.
Yeah.
Mayra Ruaro, aka Scarlett Brown, was also there. Mike
Right.
Hanapol, it was a great night. So, but it was still a wait and see because we're like, okay, are we still, do we still have what it takes? Because there's so many great bands already.
Yeah.
Is there any space for us? But when we did that concert, we gave it a thought. You know, I think we can still do it. Sorry, that was 1997, I think.
Yeah,
And
it's like
97.
99 medyo late na yun.
Yeah, 99 was when we decided. You're right. 99 was when we decided, okay, let's give this another shot. Let's go back for the long haul. And so since 99 to this day, we're still pretty much around, you know.
Oh yeah, man. So
Yeah.
Iisang Bangka is before the breakup?
Yeah. Isang Bangka
Oh.
was released in 1990, 91. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Okay.
one of the few songs we didn't write. Somebody else wrote it. Because it was meant for a beer brand, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A
It
beverage, you know.
eventually it was used for the beer brand, right?
Yeah, and it just took a life on its own because we would sing it everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was released around that time, 90 or 91.
Yeah, and I think if there was a band who's gonna play that song, it was you guys because you guys play that song really well. You sing that song, the way that your vocals sound, your quality of your voice, the power of your voice. It brings those lyrics to life, man. Because
Oh,
those
thanks,
lyrics
man.
are really, those lyrics are great. Because it's about friendship and
Yeah,
unity and
yeah,
to get
yeah.
and be and
Getting
being
together, yeah.
getting together. And your operatic like how would your I would it's like your operatic macho voice is very in tune with those lyrics, so
But you know what,
it's
Wolf? We worked on that song. When the demo came to us, I mean, I'm not chiding anybody, but demos are demos, right?
uh-huh.
You know how funny they can sound, but there's a gem in there somewhere. So we really had to tweak it, arrange it. It's like, how would the Dawn perform this?
Mm,
So yeah. So we took a lot of work. There were so many lyrics, so many words that it's impossible for one guy to sing it. That's why there are two singers on that song. It's me and
right.
Francis
Yeah.
cascading over each other.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, when I listened to the demo, how did this guy sing it all by himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so wordy. But yeah, so those are one of the things that we had to tweak and fix, and of course the instruments, the arrangement, and everything. How do we make it sound like JB's drums and
Yeah.
Kiko's guitar and Kaloy's bass?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we didn't
so
write
so
it, but we put our stamp on it, just so
oh yeah, I
it'd
mean,
be easier for us to sing live.
yeah. But it's your version that is the definitive version. What was the demo? Was it just guitar and voice?
It's just piano, and it was just the composer singing it. So
Oh,
composer or
okay.
some guy that they probably hired to. Ito, kantahan mo nga, sing over this,
Oh,
and
okay.
so they can present it to the client. And when they made us hear it, we're like, holy cow! You know, how do we turn this? I mean, the lyrics are great, the music is great, but how do we turn it into some sort of the Dawn sound,
How
right?
how
So.
long how long did that process take
Good
of
question. I
making
don't think it didn't take that
your
long.
version?
Because at the time, 1991, the band was still really hot to play. So
Yeah, yeah,
when a group is hot to play, creativity just follows. You know what I mean?
right. It just flows. Yeah.
It just flows. So I don't think it took like a week or a month even. Because also we had a deadline, right? So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're like, okay. And at that time, especially during the years of Kaloy and Teddy, we would rehearse every day, Wolf, with or without a gig,
Oh wow! Every day.
every single day.
Oh
And
well,
I
I
think
mean, you guys had the how would I say the leisure of having your own studio space.
yeah,
That,
we're
you know,
fortunate in that respect.
yeah.
Our drummer JB lives in a compound, and he literally transformed a garage into the studio. So it's literally a garage studio. You know?
Yeah.
To this day, that's what we use to this day. And
Yeah.
you're right. We had that, thankfully, because if we were, I was a student, I was still studying, I wasn't really making money on my own except with the band. So I can imagine if we had to pay for hours in the studio, I don't think we'd be coming up with stuff the way we did or the way we
Right.
do. Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much our home. And that's where a lot of stuff, both good and bad, happened. So, you know, yeah.
Did Teddy reach that studio?
Actually, he did, but not for very long because
Oh, okay.
right when, because when we started, it was literally an office space in June Boy's house, literally. So when I first came in 1986 to audition as their vocalist, it was an office and the band was really surrounded by filing cabinets and folders and tables and
Right.
shit. It was
Okay.
really
Yeah.
it was like the band was just wedged into that space. And Teddy was loud, man. He was loud. I don't know if he was loud, or maybe it's because it was the first time I jammed with a band up close like that.
Yeah.
So I've never seen an amplifier as tall as a person before, And I was like, my God, these guys are loud, in an office, right? So I guess eventually when things got better, we decided, okay, we needed a bigger room, a proper makeshift studio at least that there's a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
more space. Yeah, yeah.
So since we're on that timeline, let's go back in time, and I want to know how you, Jett Pangan, what was your musical journey, your story? How did you, like, your first, how young when you started liking music, any kind of music? I mean, it doesn't have to be
Right,
rock and roll.
right,
But
right.
so what was your musical journey? How did you start?
I pretty much grew up around music because my uncle, the brother of my mom, was a record executive. He was a record executive for Vicor Records and eventually Black Gold Records back in the 70s. And sometime in the later 70s, towards the 80s, he partnered with someone to open a record bar. So my mom managed that record bar for a long time. So I was pretty much surrounded by music, whether I liked it or not.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, if your audiences can believe this, my uncle would also bring in artists from abroad to hold concerts.
Oh, like who?
For the label, right? So the Jackson 5 actually went to our house
Oh, wow.
in
Oh, really?
1975. Yeah, I met them all.
You met Michael Jackson, dude?
I did. He still had an afro,
Yeah, he was still black.
All of them had afros,
Yeah.
And I remember while they were having dinner in our small, modest house, I was playing with their youngest brother. I think his name was Randy or something like
Marlon.
that.
Oh,
I think
Randy.
they had a
No,
Randy.
no, no.
Yeah.
Was it Randy or Marlon? Oh, I think no. Randy's the youngest.
Yeah, let's Google that. But anyway, the youngest guy, we were running around our little house.
Yeah.
And then the Commodores also went to our house. Lionel
Oh
Richie
my
and his
God,
band.
Lionel Richie.
I know, I was a kid, man, and to my mind, they were just these nice smelling foreigners because they all smelled like expensive colognes, right? And
Right,
who are these guys? I know they're famous because our neighbors were literally like zombies reaching out to them from our window,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we lived in an esquinita in Bambang, and you had the Commodores, Michael Jackson there, and names like and also the locals. My uncle helped form Hagibis. Hagibis are local
Of course,
village people.
yeah.
Yeah, he helped to develop that, so they also went to our house.
Ah.
So yeah, I had a lot of exposure to music as a child, and then as far as getting turned on to rock, was concerned, I was actually afraid of rock music, Wolf, when I was a kid,
Yeah. But what
because
was
I
the
would.
what were the first like what were the first songs that you would gravitate to? Me, for instance,
Mhm.
um, it would be like A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles, that, stuff like that, and Harry Belafonte, Deo.
Right.
Those were
Nice,
like the
nice.
early songs that I would like gravitate to.
Early songs that I gravitated to were standards. I loved Frank Sinatra.
Hmm.
I loved the Beach Boys. What else? Edie Gourmet and the Trio Los Panchos. Mainly because they were my dad's records. My dad
Right.
was more the standard guy,
Uh-huh.
and I was afraid of rock. When I would go to our record bar, I would avoid the stand where AC/DC records were,
Right.
because they had an album where the singer had horns, and it's like, what is this?
Oh, those
Devil's
high
music,
to
man.
hell. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so afraid of it. I would
Yeah.
literally wolf, skirt around it, and then next to it would be a Kiss album where Gene Simmons' tongue has all blood
Yeah, blood.
dripping
Yeah,
down from his mouth.
that's
I
alive
think it was
too. Yeah.
Alive too, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I would go to the more, the safer side of the record bars, where the record bar where they had Billy Joel,
Yeah,
really
yeah, 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 yeah.
Peter Frampton, safe looking album
Right.
covers.
Where was this?
And
What was the record bar? Excuse me.
yeah, it's called Sound Off Music Center in Harrison Plaza back in the day.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Harrison Plaza.
Sound
My
Off,
gosh.
OFF, Sound Off
Yeah,
Music
sound
Center.
off.
Yeah. And then one day, sometime in the early 80s, my uncle, the record executive that he was, came up to me and said, Jet, we have new releases, or we have new samples of releases. I don't know what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can tell me. And he thought I knew shit about rock. I didn't. In fact, I was afraid of rock.
Right.
But in due respect to my uncle, I was like, okay. So we went to his record company. And back then, Wolf, they had a listening booth where they had a turntable
Wow.
and records. And
Nice.
I was there the whole day listening to stuff I've never heard before,
Uh
had
huh.
no clue. So that's where I first heard the B-52s, the first album.
Wow.
And
Rock
I'm like,
Lobster and all that.
man, this is so good. What is this, right? And then I listened to Adam and the Ants. Before he became Adam Ant,
Right.
he
Yeah.
was part of Adam and the Ants, and then a band called the Vibrators. Nina Hagen,
So
scary looking album.
all the punk new wave stuff that was coming out at that time.
Yeah, and basically my uncle unintentionally turned me on to punk and new
Nice.
wave. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think that was the kind of thing that I carried on towards joining the Dawn.
So you're still in elementary when this was happening?
Yeah. Well, yeah. My exposure to music, yeah, elementary through college, and then I
No,
joined the
but
Dawn in
what I
'86.
mean is you were still a kid when you first heard the B-52s and all of that.
Oh
How
yeah, I was in high school, man. You're
Oh,
right.
you're
Yeah,
in
high
high school
school.
already, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
how did you expand that? Like, did you become did you just become a music lover right away and just listen to
Yeah,
everything? Yeah.
yeah. From that time on, I had a broader perspective on music. I wasn't just stuck to pop and everything. And then also around that time, the new romantic genre was already making waves, like Duran Duran, Spandau Ballet, and
Right.
Naked Eyes.
Naked
So
Eyes.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much the stuff you hear on radio.
Mm-hmm.
99.5 RT was my go-to station because they played the cool
Yeah.
stuff back then, right? They,
Right.
they played a lot of Journey, Toto, whatever, So, and then college in LaSalle was very interesting because, it was also a place where your musical tastes would also expand because my
Yeah.
classmates they had a thing for stuff like Steely Dan,
Wow.
Rush, those things.
Oh,
So
wow.
that also kind of swept me into another
So you so
direction.
you so you dug Rush. It
Oh yeah,
wasn't
early
a
on.
it didn't sound alien to you, like the progressive stuff
Not at
and
all. Because the first Rush song I ever heard was "Spirit of Radio," and I
okay.
think, and I think, speaking for myself, I think that's the most radio friendly, really, Rush song you could hear back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a nice introduction into Rush.
Right.
And when I joined the Dawn, that's when I started discovering more stuff about Rush, because we covered Tom Sawyer, we covered Limelight, those
Yeah.
songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you before we get to you joining the Dawn, what was your I mean, you're a singer, you're a vocalist. So when did that start? When did when did that talent um, show itself?
The Dawn was my first band.
Uh-huh.
And obviously it's going to be the last, right?
Yeah.
But before that, I've always liked singing. I was young in grade school. To impress my grade school teacher, who I had a crush on, I would sing, as an intermission between subjects, sing
Uh,
Michael Jackson songs, because that time my voice was really high.
right. Yeah.
But I never joined the Glee Club. I never joined any chorales or, none of that stuff. Not because I'm not saying they're bad things, but it just wasn't, I just didn't, it wasn't
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Huh.
And then in college, shortly before joining the Dawn, I joined my first ever singing contest in school
Mm.
in William Shaw Theater, and I lost.
Wow. What did you
And
sing? You remember?
oh my God, I think it was a Gary Valenciano song or something. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember, but I did, and of course, I wasn't perfect. I had no prior experience singing before a large audience, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I had no prior experience. I tried forming a band with my classmates. I did. We tried to rehearse in a garage of someone's house. We played two songs and we quit.
So,
Like, okay, we were a bunch of engineering students, or like, okay,
uh-huh.
let's not,
It's
let's not.
not. Let's not.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
when was the when was the first time you felt like that feeling? Because it's only people who are in bands that will understand this. It's like, when was the first time that you wanted to be in a band? You know what I mean.
Right,
That feeling is like, oh, I want to be in a band. I want to form a band, or I want to join a band.
right, right.
When was that?
Oh, really? When I started watching Duran Duran videos on TV,
Mm.
there
Uh-huh.
was no cable back then, just local channels. I think
Right.
the early inceptions of MTV,
Every Saturday, I think it
every
was.
Saturday they,
Yeah.
and I'm like, look at these guys. They can look good. They can play before thousands of audiences and make money out of it.
Uh-huh.
This is the life, right? So,
Yeah.
I think that's what sparked my interest, because I never really wanted to be a solo singer. It wasn't in my what do you call that, forecast. You know,
Right.
I the moment I wanted to sing on stage, I knew it had to be with a band, because I'd rather be with a team, than
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're the same. I'm a team player. I
Yeah.
thrive on other people's energy.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, sure, I've
So
done solo stuff through the years, but they're more like offshoots and side projects,
yeah. Yeah.
more than being the main thing. Although when the Dawn disbanded, I formed the Jett Pangan group. It did
Oh,
pretty
that's
well.
right. Yeah.
But it was still a band. It
Uh-huh. Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
But yeah. So recently I do solo
Ah.
stuff for special events, but I'm a band guy first and foremost.
Right.
Yeah. Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. So so now we're coming to the dawn. You're in LaSalle.
Mhm.
Who How do you get connected with them? Were you classmates with any of them?
I didn't know them from Adam. I
But
didn't
they
know
were
they
from but
existed.
they're all from LaSalle, no? You guys are all from
Except
LaSalle.
Teddy. Teddy was from Ateneo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how did that come about? Okay, I was in third year college, minding my own business,
Mm-hmm.
studying mechanical engineering, and then one of my best friends came up to me in the canteen,
Uh-huh.
and he said,
The
"Jet,
engineering canteen.
yeah, the engineering canteen,
Right, yeah.
yeah, near Velasco Building
Right.
back in the day." So he came up to me. That was 1985 or 80, 86 already, and he said, "Jet, you know my brother formed a band. It's called the Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
They need a singer, and his brother was the bassist, Clay Luna.
Kaloy.
He was no,
Oh, it
no, not
wasn't Kaloy
Kaloya,
yet. Oh,
Clay
okay.
Luna. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and he said to me, you've always wanted to be in a band, right?" And I said, "Yeah." "You want to
Uh-huh.
give it a shot? There's nothing to lose." And so I went with him, and lo and behold, when I entered the kind of the ante room, if you will, but it's really just a small room before the before
Yeah.
the office where the studio was, there were one or two women waiting in line. And then that's when I discovered they were actually looking for a girl.
Oh, okay.
So I told my friend Jojo, "So what the hell am I doing here, man? They're looking for a girl." "No,
Yeah.
no, just give it a shot because, you know, who knows?" And then he made me listen while waiting. He made me listen to a tape, and it was something was written on the tape. It's envelope ideas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? This is one of their originals. Listen to it. So I listened to it, and true enough, it was a girl singing on the tape, on the
Oh,
demo.
okay. And
I think
it was already a full band demo.
it was a full song demo, and
Wow.
I think the singer on the tape was the lady who wrote it, Tina Fineza. She wrote the
Oh,
lyrics.
okay.
Teddy wrote the music.
Right.
So all the more I questioned. I'm like, so what the hell am I doing here, Jojo? You know, they're looking for a girl.
Yeah.
So I went in when it was my turn. So I just put my A game on, whatever that was, you know.
Yeah.
I had no prior experience. I just knew I could sing a little bit. I went in there and already I was scared because I saw this guy in a black T-shirt, long hair,
Yeah.
with a Maya Les Paul guitar, black guitar,
Uh-huh.
and he was making really loud sounds out of it. And he came up to me and said, "You want to try doing what song do you know?" And so I said, "Okay." I think I gave him a few uh, uh, song titles. And this guy in the long hair, who happened to be Teddy, said, "Okay, we actually do a rock version of 'Don't You Forget About Me' by Simple Minds."
Okay.
So to my mind, rock version isn't it already rock? You know, to
Yeah.
begin with, diba?
Yeah.
So anyway, it so happened mas rock pa pala. It was more rock. It was just guitars. You won't hear any keyboards. It's
Oh,
just
okay. I
Teddy
get it.
playing it loud and everybody else playing it fast, faster
Oh.
than the record, right?
Uh-huh.
And I guess I locked out because the song was pretty much in my range. You
It's
know,
very in your range. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't like they made me sing a Led Zepp song or any of that stuff, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
And so I just put on a little attitude, you know. And the next day they said, "Okay, we'll do what do you call this? A test gig."
Mm-hmm.
And that test gig was just in June Boy's compound. They had a pelota court in the back.
Uh-huh.
So it was just relatives and friends, people I didn't know that they did.
Yeah.
And I performed really poorly
Wow.
because because I was on my way to the stage and the brother of June Boy, you know, I was sober and everything. I was ready for the gig. I practiced with them, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
But he intercepted me and made me drink.
Uh-oh.
And at that time, I wasn't drinking a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So I was so wasted when I got on stage.
Oh my
I
gosh.
almost got fired from the band. So, but I sort of begged them and said, I'm sorry. Uh, this wasn't what I intended it to be. I wasn't sober,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
maybe you can give me another shot. So they made me play this gig with them in this small bar called Roxy's in Makati Ave.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Was beside not beside, but it was a few steps away from IS, the international
Yeah,
school.
it's right in front of IS. In front in
Really,
right beside Rufus.
right? Yes, Rufus, exactly. Small bar,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Oh
150
yeah.
people wall to wall,
Yep. Roxy, yeah.
and we rocked the place. We played originals nobody heard of before. We played covers that people liked because not too many bands back then were playing U2 and Police and all and Rush.
Uh-huh.
And that's when, yeah, I think that was my baptism of fire finally
Wow.
as a member of the band. Yeah. So,
That's cool.
yeah, I
And
rambled on. I don't know if I answered
Kaloy's
your
not.
question. Sorry,
No, yeah, of
I
course,
just
yeah,
went on.
man. No, 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 no. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what podcasts are, man. You just go on and on. So Kaloy wasn't in the band yet when you joined.
The first gig, no. Clay was able to do about, I don't know, just a few gigs. Up until our first major concert in this venue called Light and Sound in Greenbelt. At the time, it was the venue in Makati.
Light
And
and
that's
sound.
when we got discovered actually by Octo Arts.
Oh.
But by the time we were cutting a record, Clay had left for the States already. And
Oh,
he was
okay.
replaced by Carlos Balcells. So
So
you'll never see Kaloy in any album. Sorry, you'll never see Clay Luna in any album.
okay, so Kaloy played the first album. He played on it. Clay
Kaloy
never.
played the first album until Prodigal Son 2001. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. So did did you have like a well like I said earlier with us we had like a 3 year run in Weekends Live. Did you before I mean before getting signed or stuff like that, you know? I
Yeah.
mean that's the reason why we left Weekends Live is because we had to keep our weekends open for out of town gigs because
Yeah.
we had we were already getting a name, you know, and I think the
Yeah.
first album was coming out or
No,
had come
say
out
it, Wolf.
already.
You were huge already, man. You were effing huge that time, man.
Thanks. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, did you have like a period where you were grinding before you got that album deal?
Okay, that came later in the game. That's an interesting question. Early on, our manager, back in the day, Martin Galan. I don't know if you met him.
Yeah, I've met him.
He was of the idea that we should not play regularly in any one place because he didn't want us to start feeling like it's a job.
Uh huh.
So he wanted us to play different venues as many times as possible. So, we get acquainted with the realities of touring, of going places, of being in a place that you don't expect would be good or bad.
Yeah.
Different demographics, stuff like that, of people watching you. Until around 1987, that's when we decided, okay, I think we need a house, quote unquote, like your Weekends Live,
Yeah. Yeah.
where we can play, you know, regularly. And of all places that Martin discovered, it was a joint in a red light district called Superstar
Okay.
along Mabini.
Uh huh.
It was near Firehouse, one of the
Right.
more popular bars there.
Yeah.
So he made us do like 3 or 4 sets a night, playing our stuff and covers. So it was interesting because we'd play
How many nights a
on
week?
we'd play on the stage where the girls danced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
So we played like, gee, it's a blur, man. But I think we played every weekend for
Friday, Saturday.
yeah, something like that. But I remember it was pretty grueling because we'd come out of the place, the sun was already up, you know.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so our intermission every set would be girls in bikinis dancing.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. Pero, in Tagalog, nahasa kami dun. Nahasa
Yeah.
kami talaga. We were
Yeah.
polished. The hours we put in there, I think turned us into a better band.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's the same thing with us in weekends. That-
Yeah.
That's where you get hasa, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because our fans would go, women and men,
Yeah.
fans of the Dawn would go into that bar and watch us.
Yeah.
Mingling with foreign customers and their girls in
Right.
bikinis, right?
Yeah.
So it was a pretty interesting audience.
Yeah.
But that's what made us into a better band, I think. And then around 1991, Francis Reyes was already a guitar player.
Uh-huh.
We did a stint in Guam for about 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year's.
Oh.
We played every night in this bar called The Jungle.
Uh-huh.
And it's mainly American soldiers and GIs that were our
Nice.
audience. Totally foreign audience.
Yeah.
Some Filipinos would come because they knew us, right?
Uh-huh.
But we played there every night, alternating with another band, a local band there. So yeah, that was also our puesto experience.
So
If you will, yeah.
I'm assuming all the GIs were digging the rock and roll, you know.
Yeah, they actually dug our originals. One customer said they're good. They're just obnoxiously loud.
Well, that's rock. That is rock.
I know. And we had the works. We had an American for a sound engineer, and the American band there were also helping us
Yeah,
with
yeah,
our
yeah.
stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But one thing I can never forget. Do we have time?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlimited.
After the set, I went to the bar by myself. I ordered a beer from the bartender, whom I knew very well already at the time. And across the bar, there was this American soldier who was on leave, I think. And he was just staring at me, looking at me funny, right?
Yeah.
And he had tattoos. He was wearing a sleeveless shirt. I'm like, okay, am I going to get beaten up here because we were too loud or something?
God damn.
Dude, he approached me. He came over to me. And I was like, hey, man. He's like, hey. So, I held my breath. I was ready for anything, man.
Yeah,
Fight
yeah.
or flight, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, you played this original song of yours, Beyond the Bend? I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, I love that. I love it, man. I love that song.
Nice.
Because it's our tribute song to Teddy Diaz.
Right.
because,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Teddy's life was taken away from him too soon. Because it reminded me of my brother. That's what he said.
Oh.
Great
wow.
song, man. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
toasted and he left. And I was like, I exhaled, my brain out of my nose. Like, whoo! I thought I was going to get it, man. But, that was a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's he was. I'm assuming he was a white guy, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Caucasian.
That's like a typical. My experience living here in the States. That's like a typical redneck white dude. Doesn't want to say much, but just wants is gonna say what he means, and they really mean it.
Yeah.
They're not bullshitting you.
It was like a scene out of a movie. You're minding your own business, and there's this big
Yeah.
white fella, just looking for me from across the bar. It's like,
Oh
okay,
my god.
here we go. And then something positive comes out of it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
So another and then during that time, the late 80s time. I just remember that I saw you guys another time in. You remember this disco rumors
Oh yeah.
in Quad?
Yes, yes. Of
Yeah, it
course.
was another. It was another deal of Twinkie saying, "Oh, the Don's playing in rumors," and we were all in Forbes Dasma. That's where we hung out. So it was like
Right,
right
right.
there. So we're like, okay, let's check it out. And then I think Francis was in the band already, and yeah, it was cool,
Rumors,
man.
I think that was still Teddy.
Oh, it was still Teddy.
Yeah.
I don't remember because well, in my mind's eye, I remember seeing you on stage. I I think it was just you that I saw because we really didn't watch because it was it was the first time that I had ever gone into a place like that. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, me
like
too.
yeah, really a smoky disco. You know,
Hmm.
with that kind of crowd. So you I remember going in the band, the main room. You guys were playing. You were rocking out, and then we went into the lounge, which was like like an airplane. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it was like the um, the economy class of an airplane. That was the and people were yeah, and I remember this chick, man, this girl who was dressed to the nines, and she was puking on the floor. I'm like, what the fuck is going on
Rock
here,
and
man?
roll.
It's like all debauchery happening in rumors, man. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that
But
was my first. That was really my first taste of like adult partying and gimmick outside. I was a sheltered kid, so I wasn't really exposed to that. But then after that,
yeah, you and me both, man. I mean, a lot of my exposure into the real world, quote unquote, was because of the band.
yeah, same here. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
wasn't the outgoing, party kind of person.
yeah.
I wasn't a partier by any means. Before the dawn, it was just school and home. That was it.
Same here, man. I can relate.
So rock and roll changed all that for the
Yeah,
better, I think.
yeah. Oh,
And
for the
funny,
better.
funny, your account in rumors because I felt exactly the same way. But you see, that was part and parcel of our manager's sort of strategy
Uh huh.
to bring our music to as many places as possible. Doesn't matter if it's a fiesta somewhere out of
Yeah.
nowhere
Right.
or a swanky disco. If
Right.
they allow us to set up there and play, we will play.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
cool, man.
so
Yeah, that's the best strategy for a band, actually.
get out of your comfort zone
Yeah.
because that's the only way you're gonna progress. That's the only way you can bring your music to a wider audience. Is
Exactly.
to not get stuck playing in a place where you know you're gonna be accepted the moment you get on stage.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And we've had our share of you know energy that's kind of okay. We don't belong here, but we're gonna play anyway. You know.
Yeah. 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 I understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Builds character.
Yeah. Yeah. It builds. Yeah. Yeah. It thickens your
Yeah.
skin, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
People.
That's the
If
word, man. Oh,
Yeah, it's like when people are looking at you and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" And that's the expression on their
exactly.
face. Who
Who
the
are
fuck
these
are these
fucking
guys?
weirdos, man?
Yeah, we're just fucking weirdos. These kid
Yeah,
weirdos.
yeah.
And then, so yeah, so I wanna delve into uh, your lyrics. Did,
Okay.
did you write lyrics when you aside apart from enveloped ideas, you wrote the lyrics of the songs
I was
and
forced to.
Isang Bangka. Yeah.
I was
Oh, you
forced
were
to
forced.
write, to contribute lyrics as early as the first album. Uh, we well generally we only have about a handful of songs that we didn't write ourselves. Like Isang
Yeah.
Bangka, Magtanim ay Di Biro, of course, the rock version
Oh
of a
yeah, yeah,
classic
yeah.
Filipino song.
Right.
And
You guys have a smoking version of that song, man.
yeah, Teddy's idea to make a classic song into something rock, something
Yeah.
heavy rock. So, as far as lyric writing is concerned, I was forced from the first album on by Teddy Diaz, because he said, okay, this is gonna be a collective, this is gonna be a collaborative effort. So you should learn how to write. You should contribute. And so I did. In the first album, I wrote this song called "Give Me the Night." Not "Give Me the Night." No, not that. "Give Me the Night." Very much influenced by New Order and Joy Division. So I wrote the words to that, and Teddy and Junboy, I think, were the ones who helped make the music. And then from then on, I got the hang of it. So I started writing more and more lyrics. So until today, I am already the chief lyricist.
Yeah.
Not to
did
say
it
I write
come-
all the words,
Yeah.
but mostly I write the stuff. Yeah, the words, the words.
Did it come naturally to you? Were you surprised that you could write lyrics? Because that's one of my Achilles heels is lyrics, and I'll write something down and I'm like, what the hell is this garbage? you know?
Yeah. It's natural. It's normal. I don't want to sound like some guru here, but
Yeah.
really, the worst critic is yourself. It's great to critique your own writing, but there's a fine line between critiquing it and sabotaging yourself, right? So,
Yes.
again, like you said, it being in a band or being an artist makes you thick-skinned. So you just gotta believe in what you're doing, but also open your ears to what your bandmates have to say, right?
Right.
But so far they haven't said anything much with my lyric writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody's got to write the words, man.
Yeah, somebody's gonna do it. Yeah.
And-
One of the lyrics that I like of yours is oh gosh, what's that song? I'm blanking right now. It's
Sing it.
Asot Pusa.
Saling Pusa.
Saling Pusa. Yeah.
That song I didn't write. That song was
Oh my
entirely
gosh.
written by Francis Reyes.
Oh really?
Entirely.
Wow.
Down to the odd time and whatever arrangement of it. He wrote the lyrics, but I put the vocal melody on it.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah.
I put the singing on it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's one of your most powerful performances on record. That Saling
Oh,
Pusa.
love
When
that
it first
song, man.
Yeah, dude, when it first came out on LA 105, I was like, what the fuck? It's the dawn, man. They're fucking because your previous productions were kind of not as raw.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that particular album was raw. The
You
drums
see,
were
the
raw,
thing with the
guitar was
Dawn
raw.
is, that's why I have high praises for Wolfgang, the band that you will always be a legacy member of, because you guys stuck to it. You guys knew already your flavor. You guys already knew what you have to offer, and you stuck to your guns. The thing with the Dawn is we can go into any direction. We can go new wave, we can go punk, we can go heavy metal if you wanted to. We can go pop.
Yeah, right.
It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because you have to kind of sort it out now. Like for this song, what would be the best for it?
Yeah.
It becomes almost surgical. But with Salim Pusa, it was a no-brainer because one guy wrote it. I just had to put the melody on it, and
Yeah.
at the time, sikat na yung grunge. Grunge
Yeah.
and hard rock was really, at the forefront of things. And we were like, okay, now's the best time to rock out with a song like this.
Yes. That was the feeling I got. It's like, whoa, the Dawn can rock out. They can rock out. Look at this, they're rocking out, man. Yeah, and it was with the times because everyone was heavy already. It was us, Razorback.
Oh yeah, you guys
Yeah,
really cemented it. Yeah, yeah.
The heavy side, of the Pinoy rock stuff in the 90s. And when you
Yeah.
sing the chorus, when you sing Salim Pusa, it's like so crispy, man. Salim Pusa, like yeah, it's crispy, man.
Crispy, yeah.
Crispy in Tagalog, it's malutong, pare.
Malutong. Yeah.
Malutong. yeah, I was
Oh, we
really
enjoy playing that song to this day.
because before that, I was used to your sound being with keyboards,
Yeah,
sounding U2
yeah,
esque, and
yeah,
this was the
yeah.
first time you guys went hard rock, and it came out really well, man.
I don't know if you heard our last album before the pandemic,
Mm.
Ascendant. That's when we went loud.
Oh shit, I gotta
To
check that
put it
out, man.
simply,
Yeah,
I think it's on Spotify. It's independently released, and Mon Legaspi is our bassist right now.
yeah.
So that was when we all sat down one day and said, "Okay, let's make an album. Okay, what are we gonna do about it?" We're like, "Okay, let's not give a fuck about you know record sales or anything like that,
Ah,
or any genre for that matter. Let's just write how we feel like writing."
mm-hmm.
And it so happened that we turned out with an album that offered no compromise, really. So a lot of the songs there are loud,
Yeah.
but when it gets quiet, it gets really quiet. So check it
Is
out,
this the
Wolf. You might
is
like
this
it.
the black is this the black album with the four figures? No.
No, no. How does Ascendant looks?
Anyway, I'll check it
I'll
out.
send you a
Yeah,
photo. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It should be on
As
Spotify. So
Ascendant. Okay, I'll check that
yeah,
out, man. Yeah.
yeah. So there's a lot of like Kiko wrote a really weird song there, but it's really nice called "Kingdom of Solitude." I wrote the words over it, and it's a lot of heavy, trippy. Because at the time we were listening to a lot of stuff again. We were going back to a lot of AC/DC, Rush,
Yeah.
the Police,
Did
and
did
we sort of just
did
put it all together.
right? Did Mon Legaspi did his presence have an effect on you guys going with that kind of
Oh
attitude?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Although Mon never forced it on us, but Mon being Mon, it just happens, right?
Yeah, right. The vibe. His vibe is just
The vibe
mabigat.
just brings you there.
Yeah.
He actually wrote a song there. You should also check it out. It's called Proto Human.
Wow.
Yeah, it's heavy, nice and heavy.
I don't know if you know this, but Mon is our Tagalog lyricist.
I know.
Yeah.
Halik ni Judas, Mata ng Diyos, all that stuff.
Basta Tagalog siya. He was the one, man. And we were I just remember when he came up with Halik ni Judas and
The
Halik ni
guy's a
Judas
poet,
first, no?
man. The guy's a
I was
poet.
like, holy shit, man.
Hmm.
And he's quiet, he's shy, very so
I wouldn't call Mon shy.
well, I mean, if you don't know him, he doesn't really,
Right. Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
don't know him, he doesn't know you. He's shy at first. But
Yeah.
when he came up with those lyrics, and then of course when he came up with Natutulog Kong Mundo and Mata ng Diyos,
Yeah.
we're all like, holy shit, okay, you're in charge of the Tagalog from now on. Man.
In fact, in one of our last gigs before this pandemic, we were in 70s Bistro, I think. We played Halik ni Judas.
Oh, you did?
And it's a
Nice.
joy to sing, man. I mean,
It is, man.
everybody knows the song, right? But
Yeah.
it's different when you get to sing it.
Yeah.
It's otherworldly. The effect on
Yeah.
me, at least as a vocalist, it
Right. Uh-huh.
takes me to another plane, really.
Yeah, man. That's very
Naliligaw pa
cool.
nga ako sa dan 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 dan. The part where the yeah, that part where the
Yeah.
singer comes in, I had to count in
Yeah.
my head, man. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't miss my cue.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that part, you always wait for the flam, the snare flam, the pla. When you hear that pra, when you hear the pra, that's when you're gonna come in the next beat.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you, Wolf.
Yeah, that's your cue.
Thank you
man.
for that.
But make sure that JB does the flam, so you don't.
Oh yeah, yeah. JB is
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. I gotta cue everything drummer.
No, okay,
you know.
okay.
If not for the band, for himself. So he
Yeah.
needs. He writes his parts down, right? To this day.
Oh, really?
Like if we're doing a cover or if we're doing a new song.
Oh, he charts
we're
it
gonna
out.
if we're gonna do a rearrangement of an old song, whether it be original or a cover, he'll chart it out.
Nice. Okay.
He'll chart it out, and he'll put the BPMs on everything now,
Oh wow.
which we didn't used to do. There was back in the day, you cannot time our songs to a machine because it will just wobble.
Yeah.
No, it's for energy really. Like the verse will be slower than the chorus or the other way around. But now he BPMs
Oh,
everything.
right.
Nakalatag na, and I asked him one day, why do you do this, man? Nowadays, it's like, well, it's easier for me, so I can play it drunk.
Oh my God.
When you
Oh
chart
my
everything,
God.
and you won't lose
That's
control. You'll
yeah,
still be
yeah.
on it, right? Yeah.
Gosh, that's the last thing. That's the last thing I want to do as a drummer. Get drunk and play. Oh my
Actually, he
God.
too, but he also. But sometimes you can't avoid it. Somebody
Yeah.
offers you a drink, and
Yeah.
he'd
Can't
rather
say
be
no.
sober during a set. But in those
Of course.
times when he has to be, or when he's sick, or when he's not feeling 100%,
Yeah.
at least everything's laid out already for him. Yeah.
So what's the dynamic like in the dawn? Are you guys like just are you guys all you seem to be all really chill, but when it comes to songwriting, when you're in that garage, what's the dynamic like? Is it serious? Is it playful?
Oh.
Is it, you know?
Oh, now we're just a bunch of jokesters, really.
Yeah.
It's never been more fun to be in the dawn now because we've taken things a lot less seriously.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of beer involved before, during, and after rehearsals, especially with Mon around, right?
Yeah.
And we just laugh at everything. But when it comes to songwriting, you're right. Yeah, that's when we sort of take a step back and you know huddle and see what we can come up with. But yeah, it's pretty much the same how we did it before. It's just that we wish we could rehearse more, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't.
Yeah, of course.
Because the Dawn is a rehearsalist band. We need to rehearse, really.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only band that stopped rehearsing, right? It's like
I
every
know, I
fucking
know.
band in the
Oh,
world stopped
oh,
rehearsing.
I know, I know. All these online Zoom meetings and everything. It's
Oh,
good to a point, pero iba pa
I
rin yung face to face, man.
yeah. And then these Zoom jamming, these bands that would do their thing on Zoom.
Yeah.
It was a cool concept, but after a while, you're just getting bored already. Even though how good these bands were.
How about you,
Uh,
Wolf? What band are you in now? Over
oh,
there.
yeah, I'm in a band called The
Mm-hmm.
Melodies, and it's with Melody Del Mundo of Sugar
Oh,
Hiccup,
great. Right, right.
and
Awesome.
yeah, and playing guitar for us is Robin Nivera, the son of Martin. He's a really good guitarist, man. He's a
Robin is already my grandnephew.
grandnephew
Yeah, because Martin Rivera is my nephew
by blood.
by blood, but he's older than me
Right.
because his dad, may he rest in peace,
Uh-huh.
was my cousin. So that makes
Oh,
Robin my grandnephew.
oh
Yeah.
my God! Small world, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so now he's my bandmate. So yeah,
Great. Yeah, Robin's a great guy, man.
he's a
Yeah.
great guy. He's a funny dude, and he's a and the way he plays guitar is wow, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like okay, so this is how you rebel against your mom and dad, huh? That's what I told him once. It's like yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
so we're actually recording right now.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Nice.
Melody's a great and a prolific songwriter, man.
She
So
is
grabe. I mean,
great
so
voice too.
yeah, great voice. She still has it. She can still reach those Mariah Carey
Oh, really?
dog
Wow.
whistle notes, you know.
Anep, anep. Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely put out the music once it's
Yeah, let
recorded.
me know, man. Let's put
Yeah.
it out there.
Yeah. So I want to, aside from the Dawn, there's another a very interesting aspect of Jett Pangan that I discovered when I was still there in Manila. This was the late '90s, switching over to the 2000s already. And Wolfgang, we did a production of Jesus Christ Superstar,
Yes,
and
you
it's very
did.
timely because it's Holy Week, and then so we did our thing. Ours was like it was a big production company, Atlantis, I think. Yeah,
Atlantis with Bobby
Atlantis.
Garcia. Yeah.
Yes, with Bobby, and so we did our thing, but we got wind that 70s Bistro was doing the thing too.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh man, we gotta and it happened after our. I think we still had maybe a week of runs
Yeah. It
when
kind of
you guys.
overlapped a little bit. Yeah.
It overlapped a bit, but the whole cast of the Atlantis production, well, not really everybody, but everyone.
You and Bito, I saw you there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
there. Ian Monsod was there.
Ian
Uh,
Monsod. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think Basti was there too.
I don't
But a
think
lot of the
Basti was there. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
yeah, but a
But
group of
maybe
us.
he was there. I just ignored him. Nah, just kidding.
Yeah, a group of us, we wanted to check you guys out because we're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
we gotta see, what these guys come up with, and then you were on the bill, but I was like, what's Jet gonna do? I mean, of course he's gonna sing, yeah, but I didn't know that you were, I mean, not that I didn't know, but you were stage was not in your repertoire. So you played Pontius Pilate, right?
I did. Yeah.
And then you come out in costume, man, and you
Yeah.
guys, and then I was like, oh my God, he's actually okay, Pontius Pilate, yeah, great, great. And then you do the Pontius Pilate, his the first
I
solo,
dreamed I met a Galilean. Yeah.
yeah, that one, and then the
Yeah.
solo with him and Jesus when he's like trying to convince Jesus, like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you doing, man? Stop doing
Yeah.
this craziness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were so spot on. All of us were like, holy shit, look at Jett Pangan doing Pontius Pilate, man. Dude, we were floored. We were so impressed with your performance because
Thanks.
we weren't used to seeing you in that setting with, and you were into it, man. You had the costume.
It was
And I
fun
think,
playing him, man.
yeah, and I think you guys had to act a little bit, right? You didn't
Yeah.
sing. You didn't just straight up sing. You had to act
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. It
We
wasn't.
had to
It
tell the
wasn't
story
really.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't really over the top acting, but you had to be in character.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were. Personally speaking, I was like, "Wow, galing ni Jet, pare."
Thanks,
This is
man.
yeah, man. I mean, it was a totally different. It was yeah. Everyone, and I think even the audience in 70s, they were like, "Oh, wow," because I'm assuming that everyone who watched that already knows the music inside out. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
That's
It
why
must
they
have
wanted to see
been
it.
such a journey for you guys to play that
Oh man, I
musical.
mean, we
It's
were.
tough, man. I can
It's
imagine how it was for
dude,
you.
dude.
Wow.
At first they wanted me to read the music on drums. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not that kind of player, man. I memorize the songs and I'll memorize the parts and all, and then wing it. So, but what's good about that, because we had a 4 week run from
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah, the long run. Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday to Sunday, and then two shows on Sunday, a matinee
Right,
on
right.
Sunday afternoon. So by the time it was the third week, fourth week, oh my God, I was playing double bass like nobody's business.
All right.
I'm not a double bass player, but there was just the frequency of the show, and
Nice,
everyone
nice.
just got better. But then when we saw your show in 70s Bistro and the way that you tackled it, because our production was, the vibe was like, because raves were still the rave back then in that era. So I don't know if you saw our production, but the setting
No,
was
I'm
in a
sorry.
rave.
I didn't get to. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so the setting was a rave.
Oh,
because
okay.
because
Okay.
house
Stylized.
music and
Yeah, yeah.
that scene was big at that time. So
Yeah.
That's how they wanted to tackle it. That's how they wanted to put the setting in, was in a rave.
Right.
But you guys kept it old school because it's 70s bistro, the old
Yeah.
school people are still, it's
Yeah.
like they're not into raves. They're still 70s bistro.
Yeah.
And we were just like at the end of the show of at the end of your show, we were looking at one another. It's like we suck. We totally suck.
No,
Yeah.
it was probably just a different take. Yeah.
No, I know, of course. But the thing is, the way you guys did it was in 70s bistro, and if people out there who have been to 70s bistro, it's a small friggin' place.
In fact,
And
that's
you
what they
got
wanted. They wanted it. They wanted the vibe. They wanted, down to earth. They wanted it to be as real as possible in terms of having the audience actually be sort of part of the story. They're part of the show. They're there. Galilee, Jerusalem, whatever. At the time, it was
Right.
hot. People were under the sun. You could
Yeah.
almost smell everyone else, right?
yeah.
The grittiness of it. They
Yeah.
wanted that. They wanted
No,
that.
you guys got it, man. You guys, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this. This is true, man. After that show, we were really looking at each other. It's like, man, these guys kicked ass. They kicked ass.
It was fun to do. It was fun to
Yeah.
do, man. Yeah.
And
I was actually surprised to see you there because, like, aren't you guys running too? Why are you here? But great that you were there,
yeah,
man. It was-
yeah.
was-
I think we had the night off when we saw you guys, and you did it twice, right? You did it the next year again, right?
Actually, yeah, we did it like 3 times.
No, you in 70s.
We did it in 70s, and then we did it by the Marikina River, I think, or somewhere like a river
Oh,
theater, and then we also did a music museum. It became a little
that's
bigger.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Those,
So
those
how
were
did
good
they?
times.
So how did they how did that happen? How did they pick you? Did they and how did you feel when you were gonna do that?
You know what? Such a long time ago, I don't remember who exactly contacted me to do what, but all I remember was I knew the players, I knew who was going to be a part of it, and I just, without batting an eyelash, I said, okay, count me in.
Yeah.
Pilot, sure. I love that character. Okay, let's do this. So that's
And you
pretty
already-
much the
you
blur
already
of it.
knew
Yeah.
you already knew the music and all of that.
Somehow, not very well. So I really had to review. I had to watch the video, and yeah. Then we rehearsed. Soxy Topacio was the director. Brilliantly
Right.
done.
Yeah.
And yeah, the grittiness of it, the venue, especially 70s Bistro, was so
Yeah.
conducive to the atmosphere of the show.
It
That
was.
didn't really take a lot from us to. There was even a night that there was even a run where Kevin Roy was the alternate of Judas for Rico Blanco.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kevin was fantastic also. He
Yeah.
did his own thing. Kevin being Kevin.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he took it to another place. So we had two different flavors then, which was really good.
Oh. So how about the acting? Did it come naturally to you?
Pretty much it did because, like I
Yeah.
said, I like the idea of Pontius Pilate in the musical.
Right.
So I said, so who's this guy? Okay, he's flamboyant, he's clueless, he's swathed in luxury, that he doesn't really give a shit. But in the end, a bit of his humanity was calling out to him when this guy named Jesus was getting flogged for no reason.
Yeah.
And being the politician that he was, he had to ask him, okay, you have no fault, you did nothing wrong, and yet you want to be crucified. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's-
What the hell?
it's like a guy coming from high society, talking to a person that he couldn't really connect with.
Yeah.
So he's just wondering, what the hell, man? What do you want?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, so I took it along those lines and kind of made a character out of him. So
Yeah, it was good.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
good
So,
times, good times.
yeah. So, we'll land this plane. Um, what's up with the Dawn? I'm seeing on Facebook that bands are starting to play again in bars. What are
Actually,
you guys?
they're way ahead of us.
What are
Well,
you guys
tonight we're
planning?
traveling to La Union for a gig the following day. Um, okay, since things have opened up, we're really fixing our schedules because right now, thankfully, I've been busy uh, doing acting jobs. I've done quite a few television series, and it's still ongoing, the tapings. So it's really just a matter of juggling schedules. But I think after May, we should be back on the road. At least doing, maybe not as busy as before, right? But we want to do 70s. We want to do 19 East, among other things, because we plan to play songs from the second album of the Dawn.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
The I Stand With You album, yeah.
Oh,
Because
wow.
before the pandemic, we did that concept. We played songs from the first album.
Uh-huh.
A mini tour of 70s and 19 East, and it did so well
Yeah.
that okay, why don't we do the second album this time? So,
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be huge. The Dawn
Yeah.
coming back on stage, man. Yeah, you're gonna fill up 19 East and 70s for sure.
yeah.
How
Yeah,
about
hopefully,
how about recordings?
we have a couple of songs in the can, so to speak. So yeah, we do plan to write more, but as soon as everybody's schedules jive, yeah, we'll do that. Because I was telling Francis one time, before, being in a band was a career for us. Now it's therapy. Especially with the pandemic, right? It's one of the
Yeah.
best things to keep you saner is to write something, create something.
Right. Yeah. Creativity. Yeah.
So I think that's
And-
gonna go on for a while. Yeah.
Do you guys still, I mean, recording wise, do you do it independently now, or do you still shop it around to record companies? How does that work with the Dawn these
Well,
days?
we've recently it's been independent. Why? Because it's better for us, I think, at the moment, because we have complete control. Of how we want it to be, without having to answer to a committee.
Right.
Not that it's a bad thing, but it frees us up,
Yeah.
creatively. And at the time, we could afford to. We could afford to spend for our own shit. But now with the pandemic, that funds are depleted as a band. I don't know
Yeah.
how we're gonna take it. Maybe we might shop it around, or still do it independently. We'll know. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. I guess.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
just play and play and play and make money, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess again, it's therapy,
Yeah.
for any musician out there. I also do my own podcast. I have a show called Jett's Talk Show, sort of, on Spotify.
Oh,
And
nice.
lately I've been doing music and talk, where I interview bands and we play their songs, as long as it's on a Spotify playlist. It has a small YouTube component also to further promote it. And a lot of these musicians are just raring to play again.
Oh, I can't even imagine how cooped up they are.
Oh yeah. The struggles of, do I go on being in a band, or do I move on to something else? Everybody had the same.
Yeah.
We were on the same plane, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah.
Well, there you go. WGRS Talk with Jett Pangan. Thank you very much, my man.
Wolf, missed you, man. Thanks. It's
Yeah.
a great chat.
And
Hope to
hopefully
see you
when,
in
when
one
Melodies
form or
comes
another.
out with music. Yeah. And then, yeah, say hi to everybody. And thank you very much, Jet. It was great, man. Great talking to you. Thank you
Hey
for
Wolf, what's the
making
title of
time.
your show again? Sorry, I'm gonna put it out there.
WDRS Talk. WDRS
W
stands for Wolf's Den Radio Show.
Is that the hashtag for it also? Hashtag
Yeah, you can do hashtag WDRS. Yeah,
WDRS. All right, man.
yeah.
Sure
All
thing.
right, all right. Thank you very much, man. You have a good day, and
You too.
you guys have a safe trip to La Union and a good gig.
All right, man.
All
So
right.
is this gonna be replayed in any other media site or something? Is it because this is
Well,
live, right?
no, this is not live. I'm recording.
Oh, great, great. So
Yeah.
yeah, we can.
So this will probably come out in 2 weeks, and on every
Nice.
platform: Spotify, Apple, YouTube,
Okay.
everything.
Just let me know when it comes out, man, and
All right,
I'll
man.
help put it out there. Take care, Wolf.
Yeah, you too, man.
Good luck on your new band. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck with you guys too.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, brother.
Bye-bye.
Rock and roll.
Thank you.
Bye, 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 bye.